Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I am so excited to start this reading vlog, and it is the perfect gloomy weekend for a good thriller. And I don't think I have actually done a new release on this channel, at least not that I know of. And so I'm so excited to do Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. I know this book came out like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I think it came out in July, so I think about 2 months ago. Some booktubers have already started or read it. I know Gabby reads. I know she's read it. I haven't seen her video yet, but I know she's read this book as well. And I am so excited to read it for myself. I do actually like Holly Jackson. I started out with Five Survive, thank goodness, because I did not finish A Good Girl's Guide to Murder because the last book I DNF'd halfway through because I didn't like where it was going, which is so sad because the second book honestly made me cry. But anyway, so I'm so glad I started with Five Survive, or I would not have even picked this up. But the premise alone sounds amazing. Basically, we're following our protagonist, and she is attacked on Halloween night by an unknown assailant. And at the hospital, they diagnose her with an aneurysm that could kill her in the next 7 days. So she has a week to solve her own murder. That is so cool. Plus, what I really like about this is I think it will really highlight Holly Jackson's real strength when it comes to her thriller books, which is that time clock, which is that timer that you basically have. Like, she has 7 days here. And Holly Jackson is always really good at this. She's really good at building tension this way. She did it super well in Five Survive, and I am so excited. The only issue is this is the Target version, so it has the Good Morning America Book Club permanent sticker. I've already taken off a couple of the Target stickers. It has a playlist in the back that apparently comes with the Target edition, but I'm sure you can find it on Spotify pretty easily. Ooh, thunder. What was really cool about the hardcovers is I love the cover of the actual hardcover. Like, I love the dust jacket. I love that it's kind of like an MRI like brain, but it's like trees. It's such a cool cover concept. And then you have these absolutely beautiful end pages. But my favorite part is just the naked book is also just so simple, but it's not like a boring, just a black book. And that makes me so excited. And it's relevant to the book. I'm so excited for this. So that is my plan for this week. We are going to read Holly Jackson's Not Quite Dead Yet. And the best part is, one, it's going to be a gloomy weekend, plus it's supposed to rain until like Wednesday. And what's really fun is Tuesday, I have a random day off due to circumstances at work. I was supposed to be working from home on Tuesday, but my supervisor's like, you're not really going to have much to do anyway, so just take a vacation day. It's like, okay. So I get a random vacay day in the middle of the week. And I will guarantee you I'll spend most of it reading this book. I am so excited. And I can't wait to read it with you guys. And I'm going to get started now. I will update you guys later, and I will see you there. Bye. I'm on chapter 2, and I already have one critique. I know this is Holly Jackson's first adult thriller, but this goes for adult thrillers in general, or people who are moving from YA to adult. Adding 10 to 12 F-bombs in the first chapter, nobody talks like that. It actually makes the story seem less adult and more juvenile. So I do have that small critique. I'm not going to call it a complaint, but it's definitely a critique for literally any thriller, anyone who writes thriller novels. I had the same issue with The Perfect Marriage. If it's like a bunch of F-bombs, it's going to sound more juvenile. It doesn't sound adult. Small critique there. Also, the protagonist, Jet, seems unlikable. Very unlikable. And very heavy on all the time in the world in the first chapter. I wonder why. Anyway, back to the book. Okay, hi guys. So I don't have much of a reading update for you. It is Saturday afternoon. I know that's so sad. It's like Saturday afternoon and I'm still on chapter 4. I'm not quite dead yet. But I put it down and I was like, oh, I'm going to edit my latest video. And long story short, I fell asleep to a Bob Ross video. So that didn't go quite as planned. But I'm not here to update on Not Quite Dead yet because not much has happened. I am, however, going to open book mail. I ordered this about a week ago. I don't know why it took so long to get here from Amazon, which is really weird for Amazon. Like it took so long to get here, but we're going to open it. And I know exactly what it is, and I'm so excited. Strangely enough, I actually found this recommendation on Instagram. And somebody put it with like imagery from Labyrinth, like 80s imagery. And I went, and they added Labyrinth, and now I'm kind of interested. Of course, they add anything from Labyrinth, and I'm interested. But oh, it's gorgeous. I love these boxes. It is this one. It is The Grove Hollow Metamorphosis by Shelby Nicole, a gothic paranormal romance. And whew, this thing's bigger than I thought it was. Dude, what? No, it's not. That's a 3. 389. Does that not look like an 8? Like, there's no way this thing is 800 pages. It's not. It's 300 and something pages. Oh my gosh. It takes place in the year 1985. I'm not sure if this is YA or adult, but I figured this would be kind of a fun kind of fall vibe. Not being scary, but it is a paranormal romance. I do have my kind of doubts because it is a paranormal romance and it involves spirits. So I'm like, I'm a little actually kind of scared of how this one's going to end up, but I saw it on Instagram. Someone said it like had 80s fantasy vibes, and I was all for it. And then I actually read this the summary before I ordered it, and I'm like, am I sure about this? Am I? No. Am I gonna read it? Yes. Look at this cover art too. Like, I love the Luna Moth. So I'm excited. This one takes place in 1985 with an 18-year-old named Jade. Apparently, there's some scandalous history between her ancestors, and she meets someone named William, who is a spirit. So I have my questions, but I'm also excited to read something different that's not really popular. And I do intend to read this between now and the end of October. So I'm excited. This is Grove Hollow Metamorphosis by Shelby Nicole. This came out in like 2023, and I'd never heard of it before. So that can either be really good or really bad. When considering how TikTok has been going, it could actually turn out really good. I'm talking for far too long about this because I don't trust BookTok books anymore, because every time I get one, it's like, this book is so good. It's not, which also worries me with this because I did find this on an Instagram recommendation, but I haven't seen another recommendation for it since. The one recommendation, and I'm like, and I bought it for the vibes. So we'll see how this goes. Like I literally bought this for the vibe. And sometimes you just read things for the vibe. So that is really my update. I had book mail and it was so excited. But it wasn't actually supposed to come in until tomorrow. I have another book on my Amazon book list that I still want to I'm still gonna bug my husband about. And I'll get back to that one if I actually get a chance to order it, because good luck finding it in Barnes and Noble. Good luck finding anything different in Barnes and Noble at this point. But I'm so excited. And plus, this is like a beautiful copy. Like, Amazon actually took care to send this one in beautiful condition. So props to Amazon for that one. Because I've gotten books from Amazon before where they're like damaged when I get them. And it's like, well, that's the issue with ordering books. But it's like, it's Amazon. They were there originally for you to order books online. Like, that was their original purpose. I keep forgetting that. I keep forgetting that Amazon originally was a bookseller, which is crazy. So anyway, I am going to get back to reading what I'm supposed to be reading in this blog, which is Not Quite Dead Yet by Hallie Jackson. And as I said last night, I have one serious critique with this one already, and that is the more F-bombs you add does not make this adult. It honestly makes it sound more juvenile. So I already have a critique. Do I think it's bad? No. But that's my critique right now. It sounds very juvenile. If I start counting how many F-bombs you've dropped too many. It's a problem. To be fair, it is mostly in her inner dialogue, but on the other hand, like, nobody thinks like that. Nobody talks like that. This should be interesting. Hopefully the story will make up for it, but hopefully the story's better and it's just the language is just bothering me. So I would hate to knock off a star because of the use of that language, because it's unnecessary. That is my opinion. It's just completely unnecessary. It makes the writing less adult. It actually, to me, makes it sound more juvenile, because the only person who talks like that is a 15-year-old. So that's my opinion on that matter. Okay, back to reading. See you guys. Back to reading. I'm so excited about this one, though. I'll see you guys later. Hold the mic because it's not gonna be close enough with this shirt. It is my day off, my random day off this week, and I spent too much time in bed. I'll blame Luna because she wanted snuggles. And I didn't get a lot of reading done yesterday. I didn't get any reading done yesterday, and then I didn't get a lot of reading done Sunday because there was a lot going on Sunday. So I haven't gotten a lot of reading done the past couple of days, but I have a small bone to pick with Hallie Jackson here. I really like the concept of this book, but I am not jiving with this main character at all. I think she's very childish. I'm like, if you aged her down to like 16, 17 years old, the story would not change. The only thing that makes this adult to me so far, I'm only on page like 150, so I'm on Wednesday, November 5th, so it's chapter 15 basically. I'm not even halfway through. This still very much reads like a Hallie Jackson YA thriller. It's almost the exact same formula. It's just there's more foul language and an older protagonist. It's literally the only thing that makes this adult. And I do like have an issue with that, because it's like, no adult talks like this that I know talks like Jet talks. And I know it feels like such a nitpick, but it's very distracting as well, because it's like, why is she talking like she's 15 and not allowed to cuss in the house? Like that's what it sounds like to me. I remember having the same issue with The Perfect Marriage because there's so much foul language and it's like it's not necessary to the story at all. I know there are some people who probably don't care. For me, it's like it's not necessary and it feels, and I know it feels like a stupid nitpick, but it doesn't feel necessary to me. Jet is also very childish. It's like, girl, you're so dumb. First of all, Billy has a crush on you. Like, it's stupid obvious. And she's like, oh, who you got a crush on? Girl, are you dumb? Are you dumb? But I guess it's supposed to be obvious to us and not her. Her mom is unbearable. How she talks to her parents is how a 16-year-old will talk to her parents. And instead of getting like help from anyone, like the police, if she finds something, she just does it herself. And she uses the excuse of, I'm dying anyway. So this is not going to be the 5-star I really wanted it to be because of those things. I'm not sure if it's going to be a 3 or 4-star. I'll have to figure it out I'll have to see how it ends to like really get the rating, but this is not going to be a 5-star for me. Just and I'm like, and I'm sure like people are like, that is such a nitpick. And it is. It feels like one, but it pulls me out and I don't like that. I don't like that the main character feels like a normal YA protagonist who's just 27. And I don't think that's really Holly Jackson's fault per se because she's used to like the young adult. So it still reads like a young adult novel. And so the protagonist still reads like it's a young adult novel. I don't know if that's her trying to get out of the young adult headspace or what, but it's literally the same formula as A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. It's almost the exact same formula as Five Survive. Five Survive is still like my favorite book from her. I might want to reread it because I was reading stuff like Five Survive and then There Were None when I was really getting into thrillers and mysteries. So they were my first few, but they were well written. And then this comes out and you're expecting this to be really good, and then my expectations were way too high for this book, I feel like. So because the concept is so interesting. It's a very interesting concept. The problem is the execution. I'm not jiving with this main character, and I feel like it's honestly taking me out of the story. Like I want to know what happens, but I don't care for Jet. Like I don't like her. I'm like her attitude of I'm 27, I have my entire life ahead of me, and I'm like girl, you could have done something by now. I'm sorry. Again, nitpick. And I get that it's kind of like Jet realizing her mortality kind of deal, but she comes off as like kind of like I have all the time in the world. I'm like, girl, you're almost 30. Yes, you still have a lot of time left, but you never like tomorrow's never promised. And I think she's finally learning that, but it took like a near death experience for her to understand that. Who am I talking to? Like, what am I talking about? I had to go through that when I was a teenager, but still, I feel like it's such a nitpick, but I just don't care for Jet. She feels so childish and immature for an adult thriller. Ugh, Jet's annoying, and I feel like that is such a problem. Anyway, I slept too late, so it's 1 o'clock. I just finished my Bible study for the morning, and I have a therapy appointment in 2 hours. Anyway, I guess I'll get back to this. I'm not going to get as much reading done today as I wanted to because I was like, oh, I'll like, finish like hopefully get a lot of this read today, finish this today, and move back on to The Hobbit and one of the ebooks that just came in. But we'll see how fast I actually get through this book because oh my gosh, like you're not invested in the main character. That's a massive problem. So I'll keep reading, but I can only tell you this is not going to be a 5-star. And there are so many people on Goodreads. It's like, it's so good. I'm like, is it? I'm going to go get some lunch, as in I have leftovers in the fridge. And then I'm going to read some more, and then I have an appointment at 3. So, and Zach probably doesn't get home till 5. So, I guess I'll keep reading. And see you guys later. Bye. Okay, I'm gonna say it. Why are some of the characters in this book so stupid? Someone threatened your husband's company in a Zoom meeting, and you're like, oh, it's nothing, this is a harmless thing. It's always something, Diane. Like, why would you not tell your husband? Why would you ignore that? Or tell the police or something. Why are these characters so dumb? Hey guys, it is that time. It is time for me to end this vlog. I have finished Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. Now what did I think of this? I'm slightly disappointed in how this turned out. Only slightly. I ended up giving it a 3-star. And I do realize that a lot of my issues with this text are very much me issues. I don't like the amount of vulgar language that is used. Like, the F-bomb is dropped so many times. And I did have this discussion with a coworker, like, if like it's used in like stressful situations, it's not as distracting. And it's like, that's true, but it's used so liberally in the text that anytime there is a high stress situation, it takes away the effect of how that language would be used in that situation. So it is used very liberally throughout this text. I do think if Jet had been aged down, it wouldn't have changed much. This easily could have still been a YA, and we could have gotten rid of some of that foul language. Another issue I kind of had is her treatment of her nephew. Like, she seems to hate her nephew simply for existing. She doesn't, but you kind of get the idea in the first chapter that she doesn't like kids, and it's like, you don't have to be so mean about it. I got invested at least in Jet and Billy's story, but the mystery itself, I feel like, was a little bit jumbled. I do feel like there was a lot going on, and there was a lot to figure out, and not a lot of it was like satisfying. Like, the last twist, I was like really confused. Okay, I wasn't confused, and it wasn't like a, oh my gosh, it was a, oh. Which I think is really sad, because Holly Jackson's usually really good with those twists. And usually when I read a Holly Jackson thriller, the last 100 pages, I can't put the book down. That didn't happen this time. I didn't feel as immersed. The main character to me was almost unlikable, which I think can become a problem when you're trying to get invested into their story. It's not the worst thing overall. I was invested, but almost every single character in this book sucks. I just end up feeling really bad for Billy by the end. Like, he deserves none of this. So, all in all, a 3-star, I think, is appropriate. I think a 4-star is just, I don't know. I think a 4-star is just too generous. It's definitely not a 5-star. I knew that as soon as I got less than halfway through. I think it was a good attempt at an adult thriller novel. So I think it had, like, Holly Jackson as an adult thriller novelist, she has potential. Like, she's still really good at writing thrillers. That's not even the issue. It's just this one was not as well executed as I feel like I would have liked. Maybe my expectations were already too high because I was excited. It was Holly Jackson. The premise was so interesting. I really wanted to love this book, and that's just not how it happened this time. I do recommend for Holly Jackson fans. Fair warning though, one of the other issues I had was I am very much a grammar person, and there are several sentences in this book that are incomplete sentences. It actually got a little annoying by the end of it. But other than that, like, if you like Holly Jackson, I do highly recommend for people who are already fans of hers, because, you know, we're fans for a reason. But if you've never read Holly Jackson before, I'd say start with either Five Survivor, Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I haven't read all of her books. As for me, this was not my favorite. And I think that's all I've got time for. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Please like, subscribe, comment, leave a brain emoji in the comments if you made it all the way to the end. That would be fun. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.